What if I told you there are 10 simple daily habits that can triple your yearly harvest without spending a dime on new equipment or fertilizers? While most farmers are working harder for smaller crops because they're missing these basic practices. What I'm about to show you will completely transform your growing results and prove that massive harvests come from what you do every day, not what you buy. Habit number 1, the biological activity assessment. At the top of our list sits the most important daily habit that separates truly successful farmers from those who struggle with disappointing harvests year after year. Assessing biological activity in soil and plant systems that indicates overall health and productivity potential. This isn't just checking if soil looks healthy. This is evaluating the living foundation that determines whether plants will thrive or merely survive, requiring daily attention to the microbial communities, earthworm activity, and organic matter decomposition that feeds plants naturally while building long-term fertility. Daily biological activity assessment enables farmers to maintain optimal soil health that supports maximum plant productivity, resulting in yield increases of 50 to 100% compared to conventional approaches that completely ignore the biological systems supporting all crop growth. We're talking about monitoring earthworm populations, checking for beneficial fungi networks, and observing organic matter breakdown that creates the living soil ecosystem where plants access nutrients more efficiently than any synthetic fertilizer can provide. What makes biological activity assessment truly extraordinary is how living soil systems create the foundation for all plant productivity, requiring ongoing observation to maintain the biological communities that continue working 24 hours a day to feed plants, improve soil structure, and protect crops from diseases through natural biological processes. Unlike chemical fertilizers that provide temporary nutrition spikes followed by soil depletion, biological systems build fertility that improves with each growing season. The assessment process is beautifully simple but incredibly revealing. Look for earthworm castings, check soil aggregation, observe root zone activity, and monitor decomposition rates of organic matter. These indicators reveal soil health that determines plant performance better than any expensive soil test, while showing biological trends that predict future productivity. The long-term results are absolutely spectacular. Farmers who monitor biological activity develop soil systems that improve year after year, creating compounding productivity gains that eliminate dependence on external inputs, while achieving yields that seem impossible through conventional methods that fight against natural biological processes. This biological approach represents the foundation of sustainable agriculture that supported human civilization for thousands of years before industrial farming disrupted the natural soil systems that create true abundance. Habit number 2, the microclimate monitoring. The daily habit that creates the biggest environmental advantage for serious farmers is monitoring microclimates throughout growing areas, identifying optimal conditions that can be replicated to maximize production from every square foot of available space. This isn't just checking general weather conditions. This is precise environmental assessment that reveals how small variations in temperature, humidity, air circulation, and light exposure create dramatic differences in plant performance that most farmers never recognize or optimize. Microclimate monitoring allows farmers to identify the most productive growing conditions naturally occurring on their property and systematically replicate them throughout their gardens, resulting in overall yield increases of 40 to 60%. By optimizing environmental factors that affect plant performance more than fertilizers or expensive equipment ever could. What makes microclimate monitoring truly transformative is how seemingly small environmental differences create massive variations in plant productivity, enabling farmers to modify conditions that maximize yields rather than accepting whatever environmental conditions happen to exist naturally. A difference of just 5 degrees in soil temperature or 10% variation in humidity can double plant growth rates, while improved air circulation prevents diseases that destroy entire crops when environmental conditions favor pathogen development. The monitoring process is elegantly simple but scientifically precise. Check temperature variations between different garden areas. Observe moisture retention in various locations. Note air movement patterns and track light exposure, throughout the day. These observations reveal environmental optimization opportunities that create ideal growing conditions without expensive infrastructure. The productivity results are absolutely remarkable. Farmers practicing microclimate monitoring develop deep understanding of environmental optimization that allows them to create ideal growing conditions throughout their property while identifying specific locations best suited for different crops based on their unique environmental requirements. The cost-benefit ratio is incredible. This environmental awareness provides growing advantages that expensive greenhouse systems attempt to replicate through artificial climate control, requiring thousands of dollars in equipment and ongoing energy consumption, while microclimate optimization achieves similar results through strategic positioning and simple environmental modifications. This monitoring approach transforms farmers from passive recipients of whatever environmental conditions exist into active environmental managers who create optimal growing conditions naturally. Habit number 3, the growth stage documentation. Farmers who document daily growth stages develop precise understanding of crop development timing that allows optimization of care, feeding, and harvesting for maximum yields and quality that most farmers never achieve because they're guessing when plants need specific interventions. This isn't just noting when plants look bigger. This is systematic development tracking that reveals optimal intervention timing for fertilization, pruning, support installation, and harvest decisions that can increase yields by 25 to 35% through precise timing alone. Growth stage documentation enables farmers to provide optimal care at critical development periods when plants are most responsive to specific treatments, resulting in dramatic yield increases through precise timing of interventions that maximize the genetic potential of each variety rather than applying general care that misses crucial development windows. What makes growth stage documentation truly valuable is how tracking development patterns reveals optimal intervention timing that varies significantly between varieties and growing conditions, enabling customized care that maximizes each plant's productive potential rather than following generic growing advice that ignores individual plant needs. Each variety has specific windows when pruning increases yields, when fertilization provides maximum benefit, and when harvest timing affects both quantity and quality of final production. The documentation process is beautifully systematic but requires consistent attention. Record daily observations of leaf development, flowering progression, fruit set timing, and maturation indicators while noting environmental conditions that affect development speed. These records reveal patterns that guide optimal care timing for maximum productivity. The expertise development is absolutely remarkable. Farmers using growth stage documentation achieve consistently higher yields while developing growing expertise that improves results year after year through accumulated knowledge of optimal growing practices that cannot be learned through books or purchased with expensive equipment. The precision benefits are staggering. This systematic approach provides growing precision that transforms gardening from guesswork into predictable production systems that reliably deliver abundant harvests through understanding exactly when plants need specific care, rather than hoping random interventions will somehow produce good results. This documentation habit creates agricultural expertise that enables farmers to optimize every aspect of plant care through understanding development timing that determines whether interventions help or harm plant productivity. Habit number 4, the pest control protocol. The habit that prevents more crop losses than any expensive pesticide is a simple daily pest patrol that catches problems when natural solutions still work effectively. Yet most farmers check for pests only after visible damage appears when intervention becomes difficult and expensive. This isn't just looking for bugs when you remember to check. This is systematic threat assessment that identifies pest problems during the crucial early stages when natural control methods can eliminate infestations before they establish and multiply beyond manageable levels. Daily pest monitoring allows farmers to identify and address pest problems using gentle natural methods when populations are still small and controllable, preventing infestations that typically destroy 30 to 50% of harvest potential when allowed to establish before intervention becomes necessary through increasingly drastic measures that often damage crops and beneficial insects. What makes daily pest patrol truly effective is how early detection enables natural control methods that work efficiently when pest populations remain manageable, while delayed response requires increasingly aggressive interventions that disrupt beneficial insect populations, providing natural pest control throughout growing seasons. Hand removal of pest insects works when populations are small. Beneficial insects can control moderate infestations, but established pest colonies require methods that harm entire garden ecosystems. The patrol process is elegantly simple but requires consistent attention. Check undersides of leaves for eggs and early pest stages. Inspect plants for feeding damage or unusual markings. Observe beneficial insect activity that indicates natural pest control, and monitor for environmental conditions that favor pest development like excessive moisture or plant stress. The prevention results are absolutely spectacular. Farmers practicing daily pest patrol maintain healthier crops with minimal intervention while developing deep understanding of beneficial insect populations that provide ongoing natural pest control, creating balanced ecosystems where pest problems become increasingly rare over multiple growing seasons. The cost comparison is remarkable. This preventive approach achieves better pest control than expensive chemical programs while building sustainable pest management systems that improve effectiveness over time rather than creating resistance problems that require ever-increasing chemical applications to maintain crop protection. This patrol habit creates pest management expertise that works with natural biological controls rather than destroying the beneficial insects that provide free pest control services. Habit number 5, the weather response planning. The farmers who achieve consistent harvest regardless of weather conditions practice daily weather response planning that adapts growing strategies to optimize results under whatever conditions nature provides. While most farmers react to weather after problems occur, when damage prevention becomes impossible. This isn't just checking the weather forecast. This is proactive climate adaptation that transforms unpredictable weather from a threat into an opportunity by developing response strategies that protect crops while maximizing growing potential under any atmospheric conditions. Daily weather analysis and response planning allows farmers to protect crops from weather damage while optimizing growing conditions for maximum productivity, preventing weather-related losses that typically reduce yields by 20 to 40% during challenging seasons when farmers lack preparation strategies for environmental extremes that occur regularly in most growing regions. What makes weather response planning truly powerful is how proactive adaptation to changing conditions maximizes growing potential under any circumstances, while reactive approaches leave farmers struggling to minimize damage rather than optimizing opportunities that weather variations actually provide. Heat waves can accelerate crop maturation when managed properly. Excessive rain can provide deep soil moisture for extended dry periods, and cold snaps can improve fruit quality when plants are protected appropriately. The planning process is systematically comprehensive but requires daily attention. Analyze extended forecasts for trend identification. Prepare protective measures before weather events arrive. Adjust irrigation and fertilization schedules based on precipitation predictions. And modify harvesting plans to optimize quality and timing around weather windows that affect crop condition. The resilience results are absolutely incredible. Farmers who practice weather response planning achieve more consistent yields across different seasons while developing agricultural resilience that protects harvests during extreme weather events that destroy crops belonging to farmers who lack preparation strategies for environmental challenges. The adaptation benefits are remarkable. This proactive approach provides weather resilience that climate change makes increasingly valuable for maintaining productive harvests under unpredictable conditions, while enabling farmers to take advantage of favorable weather patterns that increase yields beyond normal expectations when properly utilized. This planning habit transforms weather from an uncontrollable threat into a manageable factor that can be optimized for agricultural advantage through preparation and strategic response. Habit number 6, the soil surface reading. Successful farmers develop the habit of reading soil surface conditions daily, gathering critical information about moisture levels, compaction issues, and biological activity that guides decisions, preventing problems before they impact yields. While most farmers ignore soil surface signals until visible plant stress reveals problems, when correction becomes difficult and expensive. This isn't just glancing at dirt while walking through the garden. This is systematic ground truth assessment that reveals underground conditions affecting root development, water infiltration, and nutrient availability in ways that determine entire growing season success or failure. Daily soil surface observation allows farmers to detect drainage problems, compaction issues, and organic matter depletion weeks before crops show stress symptoms, preventing yield losses that typically reduce harvest by 15 to 25% when soil problems go unaddressed until plants begin struggling visibly above ground, where damage becomes irreversible without major intervention. What makes soil surface reading truly essential is how surface conditions reveal critical underground problems that affect root development, water infiltration, and nutrient cycling in ways that impact entire growing seasons, but can be corrected easily with simple interventions when detected early through careful observation. Crusted soil surfaces indicate compaction problems, standing water reveals drainage issues, and lack of organic debris suggests biological activity decline that reduces soil fertility. The assessment technique is elegantly simple but requires trained observation. Check for soil crusting that prevents water infiltration. Observe earthworm castings that indicate healthy biological activity. Note organic matter decomposition rates. And monitor surface moisture patterns that reveal drainage and irrigation effectiveness throughout different garden areas. The prevention results are absolutely remarkable. Farmers practicing daily soil surface assessment maintain healthier growing conditions that support maximum yields while identifying opportunities for soil improvement that compound benefits over multiple growing seasons, creating soil systems that become more productive year after year. The information value is incredible. This observational skill provides critical information about soil health that expensive laboratory testing cannot capture about daily changes in growing conditions, while building intimate understanding of soil behavior that guides optimal management decisions throughout changing seasons. This reading habit creates soil management expertise that maintains optimal growing conditions through understanding surface indicators of underground health. Habit number 7, the harvest window tracking. The habit that creates the biggest difference in harvest quality and quantity is tracking optimal harvest windows for each crop variety. Yet most farmers miss peak timing by days or weeks because they harvest based on convenience rather than optimal ripeness that determines both yield and nutritional value. This isn't just picking vegetables when they look ready. This is precision timing that captures crops at peak nutritional content, maximum flavor development, and optimal storage potential that can only be achieved through systematic monitoring of variety-specific ripeness indicators. Farmers who track harvest windows achieve 20 to 30% higher yields and significantly better crop quality by harvesting at optimal ripeness rather than convenience timing, while extending overall harvest periods through succession planning that maximizes total garden productivity throughout extended growing seasons rather than brief abundance periods followed by scarcity. What makes harvest window tracking truly critical is how each variety has specific optimal harvesting indicators that signal peak nutrition, maximum flavor development, and best storage potential, requiring daily monitoring to catch perfect timing windows that last only 2 to 3 days for many crops before quality begins declining rapidly. Missing optimal harvest timing reduces both quantity and quality while shortening storage life that affects food security throughout winter months. The tracking process is systematically precise but requires consistent attention. Monitor variety-specific ripeness indicators like color changes, texture development, and size progression while noting environmental factors that affect maturation speed, creating harvest schedules that optimize timing for maximum yield and quality from each planting. The quality transformation is absolutely spectacular. This habit transforms gardens from providing occasional fresh food to delivering consistent high-quality harvests that maximize nutrition while extending storage life, improving overall food security for families who depend on homegrown produce throughout the year. The timing precision is remarkable. Precise harvest timing provides quality and nutrition benefits that cannot be achieved through any other method, regardless of growing techniques or input costs, proving that timing matters more than expensive fertilizers or sophisticated growing systems for achieving maximum harvest value. This tracking habit creates harvest expertise that maximizes both quantity and quality through understanding optimal timing that determines whether crops reach their full potential. Habit number 8, the companion observation system. Smart farmers have discovered that watching plant relationships throughout the growing season reveals optimization opportunities that can increase total harvest yields by 25 to 40% without changing what they plant or adding expensive inputs. Yet most farmers ignore the beneficial partnerships happening right in their gardens. This isn't just noticing which plants grow near each other. This is systematic partnership monitoring that identifies beneficial plant interactions while detecting competition problems early enough to optimize spacing, support needs, and harvest timing that maximizes benefits from each plant relationship. Daily observation of companion plantings allows farmers to maximize beneficial plant interactions while identifying competition problems before they reduce yields, resulting in harvest increases that often exceed the productivity gains from expensive fertilizer programs that attempt to force plant growth rather than optimizing natural partnerships that support mutual plant health. What makes companion observation truly valuable is how plant partnerships change dramatically throughout different growth stages, requiring ongoing attention to optimize spacing adjustments, support installation, and harvest coordination that maximizes benefits from each plant relationship, rather than allowing beneficial partnerships to become competitive as plants mature and space requirements change. Early season companions may become competitors as root systems expand and canopy coverage increases. The observation process is elegantly systematic but requires consistent monitoring. Watch for beneficial interactions like pest control, soil improvement, and growth enhancement while identifying signs of competition, such as stunted growth, nutrient deficiency symptoms, or reduced flowering that indicate spacing adjustments or harvest timing modifications needed to maintain optimal partnerships. The yield optimization is absolutely remarkable. Farmers who monitor companion relationships consistently achieve higher yields from the same garden space, while reducing pest problems and improving soil health through optimized plant partnerships that create beneficial growing environments, supporting all plants rather than depleting soil resources through competition. The natural efficiency is incredible. This observational approach delivers results that agricultural science is still discovering about plant communication and mutual support systems, proving that nature provides optimization opportunities that cannot be replicated through artificial inputs or technological solutions when farmers learn to recognize and enhance beneficial plant relationships. This observation system creates partnership expertise that works with natural plant relationships rather than fighting against them. Habit number 9, the evening water assessment. The difference between farmers who achieve consistent high yields and those who struggle with drought stress or waterlogged crops comes down to a simple evening habit that takes 10 minutes but prevents thousands of dollars in crop losses through precision moisture management. This isn't just checking if soil looks dry before watering randomly. This is systematic moisture evaluation that reveals true plant water needs during optimal assessment conditions when accurate irrigation decisions can be made based on actual plant stress rather than surface appearances that mislead during daylight hours. Evening soil moisture assessment using the finger test and careful visual plant observation allows farmers to optimize irrigation timing with scientific precision, reducing water waste by 30 to 40% while increasing yields through precise moisture management that prevents both drought stress and overwatering damage that destroys root systems and reduces plant productivity. What makes evening water assessment truly essential is how plants reveal their genuine moisture needs during evening hours when daytime heat stress subsides and recovery patterns indicate actual water status. Evening wilting indicates real water stress requiring immediate irrigation, while morning assessment can be misleading due to overnight recovery that masks developing drought conditions requiring intervention within 24 hours to prevent yield loss. The assessment technique is elegantly simple but scientifically precise. Check soil moisture at root depth using finger penetration. Observe plant turgor and leaf positioning. Note any wilting or stress symptoms, and evaluate recovery patterns from daytime heat stress that indicate whether irrigation timing needs adjustment for optimal plant health. The water optimization results are absolutely spectacular. Farmers practicing evening water assessment achieve more consistent yields while using significantly less water through precise irrigation timing that eliminates the guesswork leading to crop stress, root damage, and reduced harvest from both underwatering and overwatering mistakes. The precision benefits are remarkable. This habit provides more accurate information than expensive soil moisture sensors while building intimate understanding of crop water needs that technology cannot replicate through mechanical measurement of soil conditions without plant response evaluation. This assessment habit creates irrigation expertise that optimizes water use efficiency while maintaining ideal growing conditions for maximum plant productivity. Habit number 10, the dawn inspection ritual. Let's start our countdown with the most overlooked habit that separates successful farmers from those who struggle with disappointing harvest season after season. A simple 15-minute dawn inspection that catches problems before they destroy entire crops, while most farmers remain asleep during the optimal assessment window. This isn't just walking through the garden when you feel like it. This is systematic early morning field assessment that reveals plant stress, pest activity, and disease symptoms that are completely invisible during other times of day when heat, light, and activity mask critical warning signs. Farmers who perform daily dawn inspections catch pest infestations 2 to 3 weeks earlier than those who check fields randomly, preventing crop losses that typically cost $500 to $2,000 per acre when problems go undetected until visible damage appears and intervention becomes difficult and expensive. What makes the dawn inspection ritual truly powerful is how early morning conditions reveal plant health information that cannot be observed during any other time of day. Morning dew highlights fungal problems through distinctive moisture patterns. Cool temperatures make pests sluggish and easier to spot in their feeding locations, while plant wilting from overnight stress indicates irrigation or root problems before they become irreversible damage affecting entire growing seasons. The inspection process is elegantly systematic but requires consistent early rising. Check plant turgor and leaf positioning. Examine undersides of leaves for pest eggs and early damage. Observe moisture patterns that reveal disease development, and note any unusual plant responses that indicate developing problems requiring immediate attention. The prevention results are absolutely remarkable. This daily habit allows farmers to address problems when solutions cost pennies rather than hundreds of dollars, while the consistent monitoring creates intimate knowledge of crop development that guides optimal harvesting timing for maximum yields and superior quality. The information advantage is incredible. In an age of expensive monitoring technology and sophisticated sensors, this simple habit provides critical information about actual plant health and field conditions that electronic devices cannot capture through mechanical measurement of environmental factors without biological response evaluation. This inspection ritual creates agricultural awareness that enables farmers to work with plant biology rather than reacting to problems after damage occurs. These 10 daily habits represent the difference between farmers who struggle with disappointing harvests and those who achieve abundance through understanding natural growing systems rather than fighting them with expensive inputs and complex technology. From dawn field inspections that catch problems before they become disasters to biological soil assessment that builds long-term productivity, each habit proves that consistent daily attention creates results that money simply cannot buy. While industrial agriculture promotes costly solutions and technological complexity, these simple practices work with natural processes to create sustainable abundance that improves with time rather than depleting resources through chemical dependency. If you're ready to transform your growing results through daily habits that cost nothing but attention and discover more techniques that maximize harvests naturally without expensive equipment or fertilizers, make sure to subscribe for proven methods that turn consistent daily practices into extraordinary yearly results. And don't miss the next video on your screen, where I reveal the seasonal planning strategies that multiply the effectiveness of these daily habits for record-breaking harvests that provide food security for entire families.